From Spokane to the pros.
Gonzaga has time to do something.
The Gonzaga basketball program has consistently produced high-level talent for years.
I didn't come in here thinking like, my jersey will be in the rafters, but I probably should have.
They showed me the videos of the kennel, and I was like, I'm sold. Let's do it.
Right now, we celebrate some of your favorite Zags in the NBA and the WNBA.
Holmgren gives the Thunder a 1-point lead.
How these Bulldogs credit their college years to their professional success.
Hachimura, Kispert, Vandersloot.
Our Zags in the NBA special starts right now. Well, hello and welcome to a special edition of KREM 2 News Zags in the NBA. I'm KREM 2 Sports Director Andrew Quinn.
And I'm Caitlin Galloway. Right now we're going to hear from a variety of players representing Gonzaga in the association. First though, a look at some numbers.
Gonzaga reigns supreme over area schools with a total of 11 players currently playing at the highest level. Gonzaga rival St. Mary's currently has 3 active players in the NBA and 12 past league players. On the Palouse, the Washington State Cougars have 4 active players with 22 past players. Across the border, the Idaho Vandals have 1 active player in the NBA with 4 former players. Of course, the Vandals and Cougs share 1 active player as Isaac Jones transferred from Moscow to Pullman in 2023. Gonzaga women's basketball great Courtney Vandersloot is the first women's basketball player to ever have her jersey honored by the university.
Now fresh off of a WNBA championship, Vandersloot has decided to make her return to the Chicago Sky, where she began her WNBA career in 2011. The veteran guard helped lead the New York Liberty to back-to-back WNBA finals appearances and their first ever championship in 2024. She also helped the Sky win their first WNBA championship in 2021. The past 2 seasons, Sloot played alongside WNBA stars Sabrina Ionescu and Brianna Stewart. She now plays with up-and-coming stars Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso. She's a 2-time WNBA champion and 5-time All-Star. She remains the all-time single-season leader in assists at the collegiate level and has led the WNBA in assists 7 times in her storied career. Vandersloot credits her alma mater for preparing her for success as a pro and in life.
I went to a place that fit me, and I fit it, and it was the perfect match, and I can't say it enough that how special this place is. They invest in their players. They want you to be great in your future, whatever that is. If it's basketball, if it's not basketball, whatever that is. And we do it. I just feel like Gonzaga does it the right way, and I can't say enough about how much this helped me become who I am.
Vandersloot will begin her 15th WNBA season on May 16th. Former Gonzaga big man Domantas Sabonis is one of the best active Zags in the NBA right now.
GU recently honored his jersey at the McCarthy Athletic Center, putting him among the program greats. The Sacramento Kings All-NBA forward leads the league in rebounds, averaging about 14 per game. Sabonis was drafted 11th overall in the 2016 NBA draft by the Orlando Magic before his draft rights were immediately traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder, where he spent his first season. He was dealt to the Indiana Pacers in July of 2017 for Paul George. Sabonis grew into one of the elite players in the NBA during his 5 seasons in Indiana and was a 2-time NBA All-Star. He was traded to Sacramento in 2022 for Tyrese Halliburton. Sabonis has been named an All-Star 3 times and was on the All-NBA team in 2023. The Kings forward spoke about why he chose Gonzaga in the first place.
I came here, they sold me with all the international European bigs that have been here, how they've succeeded, which players made it to the NBA, which not, and they had a full plan for me. They wanted to play through me, and that's anything I guess a player wants to hear. And then on top of that, they showed me the videos of the kennel, and I was like, I'm sold. Let's do it.
Sabonis will now look to lead the Kings to the playoffs for the 2nd time in the last 3 seasons. If you are a fan of the Zags, you know the name Julian Strawther.
And if you're a fan of the Denver Nuggets, you've also become acquainted with the former GU sharpshooter. Julian is playing alongside 2-time league MVP Nikola Jokic, and after proving himself last season, he's hitting his stride with the powerhouse team in the Mile High City. Many fans know Julian for his clutch 3-pointer to give the Zags the lead and win in the Sweet 16 in 2023 against UCLA. Now Julian showcasing his scoring ability that the Gonzaga community came to know and love. Due to some injuries, he was inserted into the Nuggets starting lineup and has excelled. He's averaging just under 10 points a game for Denver. He was also named an NBA Rising Star this season. He credits his time at Gonzaga for his early success as a member of the Nuggets.
I feel like the way everyone meshes well together and there's no locker room egos, it reminds me of, my time at Gonzaga, and just the way everybody plays the right way, everything's ran the right way. Everybody's like-minded, and on the floor, it's just a bunch of skilled dudes that look for each other, and I feel like I fit the mold with that right away, and it's been fun.
Strother now hopes to help the Nuggets to a second NBA championship in the last 3 seasons.
The most recent addition to the NBA was hometown hero Anton Watson. The 2024 NBA champion Boston Celtics drafted Anton in the second round of the 2024 draft. The Celtics signed Anton to a 2-way contract, and he was assigned to their G League team, the Maine Celtics. Anton averaged over 12 points per game in Maine before he was waived by the Celtics on March 2nd. He was then signed to a 2-way contract by the New York Knicks on March 4th. He promises to bring his winning standard to the Big Apple.
It's really just mentality. Everywhere you go, the culture with the Celtics, it's all about winning, just the history, and just kind of carrying that standard. And once you're a freshman at Gonzaga, it's all about the standard, it's all about the culture, and just buying into it. So, everywhere I've been, that's been the biggest thing is buying into being part of the family and just working towards that.
Watson will now look to get a call up and help New York to a top 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. One of the best success stories in recent Gonzaga to the NBA pipeline memory is Andrew Nembhard.
During his 2 seasons in Spokane, Nembhard averaged around 10 points per game, proving to be an important player with a high basketball IQ. Since being drafted in 2022 by the Pacers, Nembhard has become a key component for the team and has been raved about by head coach Rick Carlisle. Andrew has excelled on defense and with his playmaking. The Pacers signed Nembhard to a contract extension to stay with the team until the 2027-2028 season. He also competed for the Canadian national team in the 2024 Olympic Games. After losing his rookie season to injury, Chet Holmgren shined in his return to the court last season, finishing second to Victor Wembanyama in Rookie of the Year voting. Despite missing a chunk of this season due to injury, Holmgren has returned to a star-studded Oklahoma City Thunder roster and has helped lead the Thunder to the top seed in the Western Conference alongside MVP candidate Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
The Gonzaga community went nuts when the #1 recruit in the nation announced his commitment to GU. While his tenure in Spokane was short, spending 1 season with the Bulldogs before being drafted second overall by the Thunder, Holmgren left a lasting impression on the Spokane faithful with some unbelievable plays. Chet's defense has also followed him from Spokane as he has become one of the best rim protectors in the NBA. When he is healthy, he has been an offensive load as well, averaging almost 16 points per game in a great start to his NBA career. Another one-and-done Gonzaga big man has had a career rejuvenation this season in the Windy City.
Former Zags Zach Collins is in the midst of his 8th NBA season and was traded by the San Antonio Spurs at this year's trade deadline to the Chicago Bulls, where he was inserted into the starting lineup and has excelled.
I sat down with Collins to discuss his spectacular season at GU and how his time in Spokane helped prepare him for longevity in the NBA.
I remember my first unofficial visit there. I went there and we landed. My dad and I went and we landed late in Spokane. And we got to the campus at like probably 9 or 10 o'clock, and there was guys working on the court and like playing 3-on-3, I think, at the time. So at that point I was in awe of just the professionalism there and seeing those guys work hard and it's the reason why they were so good. So I just kind of fell in love with that.
Collins became the highest ranked recruit to ever commit to Gonzaga at the time. He says that decision proved pivotal to his success at the next level.
Coach Few pushed me pretty hard. He was just telling me I gotta go harder and work harder and have more effort on multiple plays in the games and the scrimmages and stuff. And that's something I never heard before, been coached on before. So they just did me a privilege of just coaching me as hard as they could, which made me a lot better. And then on top of that, just the way the practices were run, I think we're very close to how NBA practices are run. Once I got to the NBA, I got to see I've been practicing the NBA, and I'm like, oh, this is very similar.
Following his lone season in Spokane, Collins found it tough saying goodbye to Spokane and turning pro.
You know, they always show a bunch of love, and it's nothing but love back from me and my family, because when we were there, it was awesome. And it was honestly a tough decision to leave Gonzaga because of that. You know, obviously I always wanted to be in the NBA, but there was no push from Gonzaga. It was all just pull to the NBA. Like it was emotional leaving Gonzaga just because of that love.
After dealing with several injuries throughout his early NBA career, adversity struck Collins again this season when he was blindsided with a trade.
You never know when your name's going to be put into the package or not. I didn't know until like a few minutes before it was announced. So I had really no idea, but I knew that they were going to do something.
Since his arrival in Chicago, Collins has been a focal point of the Bulls offense and has shined in the starting lineup.
It's all about opportunity and preparation, I think. I've tried to stay prepared all year. Obviously, I was in and out of the lineup in San Antonio this year, so I had more time to just be in the gym and work on my game and work behind the scenes more and just stay as ready as I could. You know, that was my whole mentality. You just never know when your number is going to be called, and there's no bigs. It's just me. So I just have to go in there and be prepared to play a bunch of minutes. And I've been able to hit some shots, grab some rebounds, and affect winning.
As for his thoughts on the future of Gonzaga basketball,
I'll never doubt the Zags and Coach Few.
You know, I love all my time at Gonzaga.
we're just getting started here on Zags in the NBA. Coming up, how one top recruit says being a Bulldog has helped him in his flourishing NBA career. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching KREM 2's special edition of Zags in the NBA, a breakdown of how your favorite Zags are doing at the professional level.
Rui Hachimura is the definition of player evolution. Hachimura arrived in Spokane in 2016. The Japanese star spoke very little English and looked lost on the court at times as a freshman. During his years at Gonzaga, he progressed at a steady rate until he was drafted in the first round of the NBA draft by the Washington Wizards in 2019. Rui now plays for the Los Angeles Lakers with superstars LeBron James and Luka Doncic. Throughout his time in the league, his field goal percentage has risen steadily. Rui is also a two-time Olympian, playing for Japan in the 2020 and 2024 Olympics.
Rui's former teammate Brandon Clark has also enjoyed success at the NBA level. Clark spent one season in Spokane and alongside Hachimura helped lead the Zags to the Elite Eight. He was drafted 21st overall in the 2019 NBA draft and has spent his entire NBA career with the Memphis Grizzlies, where he plays alongside star guard Ja Morant. Clark had a strong beginning to his NBA career and was signed to a 4-year contract extension in 2022. Since, he has battled serious injuries, including a torn Achilles, but this season Clark returned to the court and is averaging 8 points per game for Memphis. Another member of that 2019 team and one of the most beloved Zags in recent memory, Corey Kispert, is enjoying his 4th season in the NBA. The Edmonds native had one of the most memorable college careers of any Zag and played in that 2021 national championship game. He was drafted 15th overall later that year by the Washington Wizards and has carried his sharpshooting to the next level, shooting 37% from beyond the arc this year. Behind Chet Holmgren, Jalen Suggs is the second highest ranked recruit to ever sign with Gonzaga.
Kispert's former teammate is most well known as the man behind the 2021 three-point shot heard around the world, beating the buzzer to send the Zags to the national championship game. Following his one season in Spokane, Suggs was drafted 5th overall by the Orlando Magic alongside Paolo Banchero. Suggs is a major reason why the Magic have made a big turnaround. Orlando has become one of the most fun young teams in the NBA and an Eastern Conference contender. Earlier this season, Suggs was rewarded with a 5-year, $150 million contract extension with the Magic. Suggs was forced to undergo knee surgery in early March, putting him out for the rest of the season. Despite that, Suggs credits his time at Gonzaga for preparing him for life in the NBA as a ball-handling guard.
I've definitely grown as a player, I think even more as a person. And I think just taking everything I've learned from here, you know, off the court work habits, you know, from Corey and Joel being my vets here, and then the rest of the staff, you know, what they've implemented in me, you know, and then just the game of basketball, you know, and then me and Coach Drew talked about it. Just the pick and roll reads has been something that hasn't really stopped me at all. It hasn't troubled me, you know, just because of how many we've been in while I was here. And so, I mean, a ton of credit to everybody here. for taking me in, helping me learn, helping me grow, and, putting me in the best position possible for the next level.
Suggs will return to action in late 2025 and will hope to lead the Magic back to the top of the Eastern Conference next season. And coming up, the 2013 WCC Player of the Year describes his time at Gonzaga as magical. Next, a look at the legacy Kelly Olynyk left behind as he plays at the highest level. Welcome back to KREM 2's special edition of Zags in the NBA.
The longest tenured Zag in the NBA right now is remembered for leading the Zags to their first ever #1 AP ranking. Kelly Olynyk is a member of the starting lineup for the New Orleans Pelicans now. Olynyk brings veteran experience to any team he plays on, playing for over 12 years in the NBA. Kelly is a huge reason for Gonzaga's rise to notoriety in the mid-2010s. The 2013 WCC Player of the Year currently averages just over 7 points per game in his 13th NBA season. Kelly looks back fondly on his time at Gonzaga.
It's magical. Just that the atmosphere, the feel. You feel like it's really a family. You walk around campus, these buildings, coming to the games, and you feel like you're at home. And that was something that I couldn't leave. And so I redshirted, worked my tail off for, whatever it was, 16, 18 months in between our last game and our first game. The second season after that, and the rest is history.
Kelly has 1 year remaining on his contract with the Pelicans. Before the fame and notoriety, John Stockton decided to go to Gonzaga because, well, it was in his hometown, and from there, he became a legend.
Stockton finished with 1,340 points and 554 assists in his 4 seasons at Gonzaga. He was the first Gonzaga player named WCC Player of the Year. Stockton went on to win 2 Olympic gold medals and set multiple records in the NBA. He's widely regarded as one of the greatest point guards of all time. Stockton remains the career steals and assists leader. He was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame twice as a player and as a member of the 1992 Olympic basketball team. He's also a member of the College Basketball Hall of Fame. Stockton played in the NBA for almost 2 decades with the Utah Jazz.
Before the sports world knew the name Gonzaga, Frank Burgess was making a name for himself. He was, until recently, Gonzaga's all-time leading scorer, only dethroned by Drew Timme in 2023. Burgess only played for the team for 3 seasons and held that record for 65 years. During his senior year in 1961, he led the nation in scoring. After his senior year, Burgess was drafted by the Lakers but opted to play for Hawaii's ABL team. He played 2 seasons for them before returning to Gonzaga to go to law school, which he graduated from in 1966.
And that brings us to Gonzaga's all-time leading scorer. Drew Timme was a 3-time All-American, and during his time at Gonzaga, he snapped that 65-year record, becoming the top Bulldog with 2,307 career points. Timme went undrafted in the 2023 NBA draft. He signed with the Milwaukee Bucks for their summer league and signed a 2-way contract with their G League team, the Wisconsin Herd. Timme played 12 games for the Herd before fracturing his left foot, ruling him out for the rest of the season. He's now playing for the Long Island Nets and is a top player in the G League, averaging over 20 points per game.
Coming up, we are tracking future Zags now. After the break, the new recruits as a new era of Bulldogs head to Spokane. Zags in the NBA continues after this.
Welcome back. The Gonzaga men's basketball team has had a player picked in the NBA draft for 4 consecutive years.
And this year, Ryan Nembhard is looking to hear his name called on draft day, just like his brother Andrew. Nembhard's draft stock has fluctuated throughout the season. The nation's assist leader has a high game IQ, but analysts say he needs to improve on off-the-dribble shooting and from beyond the arc. Michael Ajayi is another potential draft pick. Ajayi has already been seen by scouts as he participated in the draft combine and a handful of team practices in 2024. He also has an extra year of eligibility remaining, so his future is undetermined.
But for the women, mock drafts are all over the place on Gonzaga all-time leading scorer Yvonne Ejim. Bonnie has been projected in almost every round across the internet. Some project she'll go in the first round, some in the third, while some even have her going undrafted. Head coach Lisa Fortier has said Bonnie will be a high draft pick, and after her potential career in the WNBA, she'll go on to be a doctor.
Looking ahead to next season, Gonzaga men's basketball has signed 4-star recruit Davis Fogel.
Fans are excited about the recruit, who's drawn comparisons to Julian Strother and Corey Kispert. Fogel is a 6'7" guard from Washington State. The Zags will also add transfer guard Jalen Warley and redshirt guard Braden Smith to a team which will likely be led by big man Braden Huff.
So lots to look forward to next season for the Zags. Our streaming platform, KREM 2 Plus, is your source for all things Gonzaga basketball on your time. Download KREM 2 Plus today and watch for free on your TV. That'll do it for us here on Zags in the NBA.
Have a good one. Go Zags.